Everything is insanely expensive at this point, thanks to the RAM crisis, inflation, you name it. So today, I'm going to be giving you some practical consumer advice by shopping for budget laptops. I am maxed out at a $500 budget, which I think is a reasonable amount of money to buy an okay laptop. But the question is, can you get something decent at that price point, or are you better off crying in the corner? And success! We actually found 3 different laptops that I think are pretty decent for this video. I actually also found a couple more that they had out of stock, so I've ordered them online. So let's head back to the studio and see, are any of these actually worth it? Let's start out with the most affordable laptop here, which is the Asus Chromebook CX14. Now this cost a mere $239.99, by far the cheapest laptop here, which you might expect because it's a Chromebook. However, unlike a lot of Chromebooks, which are garbage and terrible, this actually has somewhat decent specs. Well, you get a power adapter, which is, in fact, USB-C. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a Chromebook. This is a Chromebook Plus. I don't know what the plus means. Plastic build, which is actually not a big problem. Like under $500, plastic is totally acceptable. Ooh, okay, so I don't like the fact there's 0 ports on the right side at all. There's just a Kensington lock. You have 2 USB-C, HDMI, USB-A, and a headphone jack. And we have a laptop. Wow. It does have a little webcam shutter, which is a nice feature to have. So they do call out that this is powered by an Intel Core 3 processor. I'm curious about the deck flex. Oh, that's actually, you know what? That's not bad. One of the things I always am concerned about when buying a cheap laptop is the durability. Affordable laptops sometimes don't last that long, which really shouldn't be the case. I'll give this like a soft pass for first impressions. It doesn't feel terrible. All right, real talk for a second. Your personal information is everywhere online. I'm talking home address, phone number, email, family members. It's all just sitting there on data broker sites for literally anyone to look up. And I don't mean to sound paranoid here, but it is genuinely disturbing how easy it is to find. That's where the sponsor of this video, Incogni, comes in. Basically, they track down and remove your personal data from hundreds of these data broker sites automatically. You set it up once, authorize them to work on your behalf, and they handle the rest. And because this stuff can pop back up, they keep removing it repeatedly. And with their unlimited plan, you can use custom removals to send them literally any link where your info appears, and they'll work to get it taken down. It's like having a privacy expert working for you 24/7. So if you want to help protect your privacy and make yourself harder to find online, Incogni's got you covered. Use code EVANS at incogni.com/Evans to get 60% off an annual plan. That link is in the description. Just don't forget code EVANS at checkout. And thank you very much to Incogni for keeping us all just a little bit safer. Moving up the price ladder, we have yet another Asus laptop. This is the Vivobook 14 at $330. Now this is of course running Windows. In fact, all 4 of the other laptops are Windows powered devices. Oh, that is a barrel plug, not a USB-C charger. Even at an affordable price, I kind of expect every laptop to support USB-C charging and really give me a USB-C charger in the box. Oh, this is a little bit of a different chassis than I was expecting. It almost looks like a Tough. Nah, still plastic. Port-wise, we have 1 USB-A on the side, and then on the other side we have USB-C, 2 USB-A, and HDMI. And that USB-C does not look like it supports charging. I'm actually not impressed. This feels almost cheaper than the Chromebook. It looks like also you got the little privacy webcam shield, which is nice. Oh my God, is that actually on there permanently?
Oh my God, really?
Oh, okay, all right. Asus does have a little like numpad option for the actual touchpad, but I did not realize that it's literally printed on there. Okay. The deck flex is moderate. It also is using a Core 5, so this should be a little bit of a step up in performance over the Chromebook. Ooh, look at the flex. Look at the flex on that guy. Hopefully the rest of this thing holds up, because this is not looking promising right now. Next up, at a whopping $399.99, we have the LG Gram Book. It's also a large laptop, so I believe this is a 15 inch as opposed to the 14 inches of the Asuses. Normally, the main claim to fame with the Gram is the fact that they are super lightweight. Okay, we have USB-C, thankfully. So plastic. A little chunky, if I'm honest with you. It's a very sort of like squared off design. So you have 1 USB-A port on the side, and on the left side you have 2 USB-C, HDMI, and USB-A. It also has this kind of like weird like beveled finish on the outside. So we do have a number pad. Flex test. Ooh. This does have an actual Core i5. I think this is 13th gen. This also, just like the other two, does have a physical privacy shield. Yeah, just cheapy. I'm not mad, but I'm also not really impressed here. Also, at $399.99, we have the HP laptop. I don't know why HP doesn't like to name their things. I'm mildly concerned about this one.
Already? You didn't even unbox it yet.
Having used some of the affordable HP laptops in the past, with the device that maybe rhymes with the HP Dream, some of their chassis are very, very cheapy feeling. So we do have a barrel plug for your charger. Great start. Great start. I will say it doesn't look generic like the other guys. The other ones looked so gray and simple. I actually kind of like the silver. Ooh, is that a non-plastic material, I feel? Oh, no, it's plastic. So, USB-A, HDMI, and USB-C, which does not look like it supports charging, and one more USB-A. Let's open, oh God. Look at how much that lid flexes. Again, we do have the physical privacy shutter. I'm surprised that every single laptop so far has that. Oh, dude. Look at the flex. Do you see how the edge of the trackpad, when you put your finger on it, starts moving? That's why they don't give it a name, because they don't want you to buy it. I mean, if I'm honest, this feels like the same chassis as the HP Stream. Now this is, unlike the other three we looked at, the first time we've gotten an AMD powered device, which should actually give us a decent level of performance and some okay graphics if you wanted to maybe do a little bit of gaming. One of the only positive things I can say about this guy is that it does have a touchscreen. The problem though is because the hinge is so wobbly, look at how much, as I'm touching it, look at how much the screen wobbles. Last and certainly not least, we have the most expensive entrant here, Lenovo's Ideapad 3 Slim at exactly $499.99, 1 penny underneath our budget cap. Most notably, this is the only device here that is powered by a Snapdragon processor. And this is going to give you a bunch of extra features like Copilot Plus, 16 gigs of RAM. So this is normally a $750 laptop that is on sale for $499. So I'm hoping that memeans we get a little bit of an elevated experience, like this charger, which is a barrel plug. What? Why? Why? I think that A cover is actually metal. So we do have our barrel plug, USB-A, HDMI, USB-C, and headphone jack, and we do have actually an SD card reader and another USB-A. Oh yes, okay. It doesn't come with a USB-C charger, but it does support USB-C charging. Okay, so not only do we have a fingerprint sensor, but you also have, I think, are those top firing speakers? It's got a moderate amount of deck flex. It's still not super secure, but it's nowhere near as bad as the HP. And we do have a privacy shutter here as well. Oh, a backlit keyboard. It should not be a surprise to anybody that when you pay more for a laptop, you get more stuff. It is a touchscreen. Look at that, wow. Let's go ahead and get all of these laptops charged, up to date, benchmarked, battery tested, the whole works to see which, if any, of these affordable laptops is actually worth it. Alrighty, my friends, I've spent some time with these laptops. I have a lot of thoughts. Some of these are actually surprisingly good, but a couple are very, very bad. So I'm going to be ranking these laptops on 3 different criteria. Performance, which includes things like benchmarks as well as battery life. We've got the hardware, which I've already kind of touched on for the unboxing. And then value. What kind of laptop are you actually getting for your money? So let's start out with performance. And in last place is, unfortunately, the HP. It had the worst battery life at a little over 5 hours with our patented Lo-Fi Girl at full volume battery rundown test, a highly scientific one if I do say so myself. It also had essentially the worst performance. It's a Ryzen 5 7000 series chip. However, it is actually just a rebadged Zen 2 chip, so it's actually kind of old. It's only quad core. The only real redeeming factor when it comes to the performance and the specs of this guy is that the laptop has 512 gigs of storage. In 4th place, we have the LG Gram Book. Now, this one had essentially the same battery life as the HP. However, it does have significantly better performance. For the podium, it was actually very close between both Asus models for 2nd and 3rd. So the Chromebook has by far the best battery life at 7 hours versus 6 hours on the Vivobook. However, the Vivobook has significantly better performance, and for me, that is going to push it over the edge. So I'm going to give the Chromebook 3rd place and a very strong 2nd place to the Vivobook, which leaves us with our 1st place, which, surprise, surprise, is going to be the Snapdragon-powered Lenovo. This one really wasn't much of a competition. The Lenovo had over 10 hours of battery life. And it is the only laptop here that has 16 gigs of RAM, which I will say is quite an important thing. Next up, let's talk about hardware. So this includes a lot. So not only the build quality, you've also got stuff like, does it have a touchscreen, how's the keyboard, trackpad, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, the HP is also the worst one in this one as well. Where do I start? While the screen is fairly okay on the HP, the build quality is terrible. The keyboard is also quite bad. It does not support USB-C charging. Really, the biggest win for the HP, which is still not enough to get it out of the last place, is the fact that it has the best speakers. But all of these have bad speakers. Next up, we have the Vivobook. Now, this was our second cheapest laptop, and it kind of feels like it. So the thing is, the Vivobook wasn't the worst in any particular category. It has okay screen, okay speakers, okay trackpad, okay build quality, but when you put all that together, nothing really stands out. Unlike our third place, which is the LG Gram. Now, the Gram is not the most sexy of builds. However, it does have the best screen here. The downsides to the Gram are that the speakers aren't that great. It's a little bit thicker than I think it should be compared to the rest. And ultimately, I don't like this keyboard. There's like so little key travel with the Gram that it actually bothers me. In second place, we actually have the Asus Chromebook. So it has USB-C charging natively, which is nice. It also has the best webcam here, which is kind of surprising. The Gram had a terrible webcam, but the actual Asus had pretty decent image quality, even though it has a little bit of ghosting. When you put it together, especially at the price, the Chromebook is good. However, yet again, the very clear winner when it comes to hardware is going to be the Lenovo Ideapad. As the most expensive laptop here, the Lenovo has a lot going for it. So while it does ship with a barrel plug to charge, it also will support charging via USB-C. It is by far the best keyboard here, including it's a backlit model, the only one of these laptops that is backlit. It is also one of the only laptops along with the HP that is a touchscreen, which is nice. When you look at it all together, it is very, very clearly the nicest feeling, the nicest looking, and the nicest laptop to use. All this brings us to our third category, which is value. And the laptop that gives you the least for your money is of course going to be the HP. $400 means that it is on the upper end of these laptops, and it just does not give you that much. It is just a lazy device. The HP Stream is very similar to this laptop in many ways, even when it comes to performance and has better battery life, and is like half the price. This is a bad laptop, and HP should feel bad. Also at $400 and at fourth place is the LG Gram. The Gram is generic. It is not particularly cheap. It is also not giving you an enormous amount for that money. Coming in number 3 is the Lenovo Ideapad. Now, while I've had a lot of very lovely things to say about this laptop, it is my favorite in a vacuum if you throw out price. You can't throw out price, and it is at $500. It's just not gonna give you double the laptop of something like the Chromebook, or even something like our second place, which is the Asus Vivobook. This is our second cheapest device here at $330, and it's actually quite a lot of laptop for the money. You've got, again, decent battery life, pretty decent performance. If this was a $400 device like a couple of the others, it would be ranking much, much lower. But because it is so much cheaper and it is so good in so many ways, it doesn't have to be perfect to do well. However, number 1 on value by a long shot is the Asus Chromebook. I don't think I have to explain myself too much, but I will anyway. $240 is a very low price, and unlike many Chromebooks of the past that were available at that $200 price point, this is actually a good laptop. 8 gigs of RAM, enough performance, good battery life. If you threw price out of the equation, I would take the Chromebook over most of these other laptops. This is a whole bunch of ranking to try to answer a very simple question. Are any of these very affordable laptops actually worth it? Well, there are 2 laptops here that I cannot recommend at all. The HP is clearly just not good. So we're just gonna clear that out entirely. And I'll also say there's no real point in buying the LG Gram. Now it comes to the remaining 3. There are arguments for each. I will say that the Vivobook at a pretty reasonable price is a good device. If you really care about value, the Chromebook is absolutely where it's at. But the biggest downside is of course going to be the fact that it is running Chrome OS. But the ultimate winner here, and it's not particularly close, is the Lenovo Ideapad. It's clear that while this is currently available for $500, this is a laptop that was originally going to MSRP for $700 or $800. A lot of these other laptops were supposedly $500 or $600. No one ever bought that HP at $600. And if you did, I'm sorry. So I'm curious, which of these laptops would you pick? Or would you just opt for a used laptop instead? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling for more practical consumer advice. Until next time, my friends, cheap laptops are getting really good.